This is a young girl that was missing. Um, she's been found not in the way that we wanted her to be found, right? So anybody who has been following this story of this young lady by the name of Tanea Tovar. Now I know the news has been pronouncing her name a little bit incorrectly, but because of the fact that I come from the black community and I know some black folks and I've had some people confirm, like, yes, they believe it is Tanea. That's what I'm going to call her, right? So, with her being the age that she is, it's kind of the borderline of stories that I might actually not speak on. But here's the catch. Not only is she still technically a child, right? But my daughter is just slightly older than her. My daughter is about a year and a half, almost 2 years older than her. And I wanted to speak about this because I know it's a lot of black girls out there. I know I got some black people in my audience. Black people, if you can, raise your hand out there if you guys are listening. Not only am I going to say some things that might not sit well with your sensibilities, but in this story, I'm going to call out some things, even calling out the mom, that I don't think you're going to find this anywhere at any other podcast, anywhere. Okay? So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and get into this. If I happen to use some strong language, this is not intended for children. This is intended for mature audiences. Let's get it.
Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, new website articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer.
Let me pause that real quick. Let me say thank you to They Call Me B and also to Don, who is in the chat right there. I see you. Thank you for your donation and Cash App. I got you. So appreciate that. So my source for this story is two sources. So I'm gonna read from the first one. Let me see. This is the timeline. Actually, let me swap these around. I'm gonna read from kesq.com. That's where both articles are coming from. So we'll start with this one first. Then we'll go to the timeline. Let me get this young lady's face up on the screen right here. She's a beautiful young girl. But what her actions were very, very typical of her age and her demographic. So I'm going to throw that out there right now. There is a 51-year-old man of Salton City, and he was arrested in connection with the disappearance and death of that girl that y'all saw on my screen. That was 17-year-old Tanea T.T. Tovar, Tovar, according to the Imperial County Sheriff's Office. In a press release issued Saturday, the sheriff's office confirmed. Let me back it up so you can see his face. Actually, I made a clearer picture of him. That's the clearest picture you're ever going to find right there as of right now. His name is Abraham Feinbloom, Feinbloom. Feinbloom is his name, and he definitely looks like a fiend that bloomed. He's 51 years old, and that is a hard-ass 51 years old. And he was arrested Friday morning following the execution of a search warrant at a home. At a home. I don't know if it was his home, but at a home in the 2800 block of Harlequin Court. Harlequin Court in Salton City. Tanea Tovar. What? Whatever. Anyway, I don't know why it says that. That must be a typo. Now, according to the sheriff's office, at approximately 7:30 a.m. on February the 13th, which was my brother's birthday, that was 3 days ago, depending on when you're watching this, February 13th, members of the sheriff's emergency response team working alongside the FBI served a search warrant at the residence. Now, officials say that Abraham Feinbloom, was observed jumping a fence in what appeared to be an attempt to evade law enforcement. He tried to run, allegedly. He was immediately taken into custody and turned over to FBI agents for questioning while the residence was processed for evidence. Why does it keep saying that? They're doing this weird thing in this news article. It's weird. They need to update that and fix it. Feinbloom was later arrested and booked into the Imperial County Jail on charges of murder, which is 187A PC, murder, and 148 A1PC resisting a peace officer. Why they wrote it like that is beyond me. KESQ.com. Come on, y'all. Seriously. He is being held without bail. The arrest comes 1 week after FBI agents initially searched the same home as part of the ongoing investigation. On Friday, law enforcement officials from the FBI, Imperial County Sheriff's Office, and Riverside County Sheriff's K-9 team were seen conducting operations at the property. And y'all, I think I showed some of the pictures up there, so y'all will see that. This development follows confirmation Thursday from Imperial County Sheriff's Office that human remains found in Salton City in December were identified as Tanea Tovar, the missing 17-year-old, okay? That young lady right there. And let me show some love and say thank you to Queen, babysitter in the chat, showing some love in the super chat. Says sharing birthday monies on 2/13. If you're listening, thank you very much and happy belated birthday. Much love. Thank you to you. News Channel 3 first reported Wednesday that Tanea's mother, her name is Charo Tovar, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, Charo or Charo, said that the Imperial County coroner informed her that remains discovered near the Salton Sea area in December had been confirmed as her daughter's remains. Authorities formally confirmed the identity Thursday following DNA analysis. Investigators say deputies initially responded on December 21st, 2025 at approximately 4:22 p.m. to the area of Portsmouth Avenue and New Haven Court in Vista Del Mar after receiving a report of found human remains. Deputies located a human leg showing signs of decomposition. I hope everybody caught that. They found a human leg. I don't know if they found the rest of the body, but it sounds like this girl was probably what do they call that when you chop up the body? What do they call that? What is that term? I forget it. What is that term? I feel stupid for not knowing that. What is the term for when a criminal chops up a body? Dismemberment. Okay, sorry. I'm dumb. Dismemberment. So that to me would indicate that. The Imperial County Sheriff's Office coroner unit later developed a DNA profile, and on February the 6th of 2026, officials received a positive female DNA match. After obtaining a DNA sample from Tovar's mother, so the mother gave some of her DNA to confirm that this was actually her daughter. Crazy. That is a crazy way to find that out. The Imperial County Sheriff's Office, I'm going to just say the Sheriff's Office, described the case as a multi-agency investigation and thanked the FBI, Riverside County Sheriff's Office, and the Imperial County District Attorney's Office for their involvement in this case. The Sheriff's Office extended condolences to Tanea's family and all of those impacted by it, described as a tragic event. Anybody with information related to this is asked to contact the investigator Moreno with the County Sheriff's Office, 442-265-2265. The FBI previously confirmed a $10,000 reward remains active for information leading to a resolution in this case. This remains an active investigation. And so let me say this. I'm going to give y'all the timeline. Anybody who might have, because I don't know if it's been taken down from her social media, because the girl was on social media, but if you have any pictures, any videos, if she sent you any DMs, so this could go to her friends, this could go to her family members or anybody, that could be very key, very important. You might not know how important it is. Make sure y'all turn it in, please, okay? Because we want to make sure and get this stuff accurate and get this man as much time in prison, because I believe I know exactly what happened here. So here's the timeline. This girl was reported missing, and we'll talk about the screenshots here in a minute. She was reported missing on December the 1st in the Salton City area. Abraham Feenbloom was arrested on Friday of suspicion of murdering a missing teenager after investigators say that he attempted to flee when the SWAT team executed a search warrant at the Salton City home. Tovar's mother, Charo Tovar, filed a missing person report on December the 1st. Let's see. She told authorities that her daughter had traveled to Palm Springs and stopped answering her phone. So it sounds like her daughter ran off trying to be grown or trying to be whatever it is. Again, I'll get back to that here in a second. The mother and Tovar's father, by the name of Josh Carter, said they later learned that she planned to meet this white man, that guy right there, a 51-year-old man living in a boarded up pink house on Harlequin Court. Everybody follow so far? We're just getting started. On December the 21st, 20 days later, deputies responded to a field near Portsmouth Avenue and New Haven Court in the Vista Del Mar area of Salton City after someone reported finding human remains. They recovered a decomposed human leg but could not determine its sex, age, or race. But we now have that information. So where's the rest of the body at? Very crazy, very weird. Let's see here. They received a positive female DNA match on February the 6th. Of course, we talked about that the mom helped with that. They confirmed it publicly on February the 12th. In the weeks after her disappearance, Charo and Carter repeatedly drove 70 miles to the Salton City address to request welfare checks because they believed that's where they thought that she was. They say deputies knocked but never forced entry and suggested Tanea might have been a runaway. Neighbors described hearing drums, which I have a video of that. I'll show y'all that here in a minute. So drums, either she was playing drums or somebody was playing drums. Seeing bright lights and occasional screams coming from the house. One neighbor, Jessica Gurin, told the news that the family nicknamed Fiend Bloom the scary man in the scary house, and that a forensic truck had visited the property in 2015. Let me say that again. They say a forensic truck visited this property back in 2015. What are the details of that? I sure would like to know. Another neighbor said residents began watching the house after December the 21st and noticed that Abraham Fiend Bloom installing security cameras on December the 23rd. On February the 6th, the same day investigators matched the DNA, agents with the FBI and the Imperial County Sheriff's Office, I'm going to just say Sheriff's Office next time, executed a search warrant at the Harlequin property. They knocked on the doors and showed neighbors a picture of the man that they believed to be involved. Residents say the occupant never came outside. A week later, authorities returned with and y'all tell me what y'all think in the chat. Yes, they call me B. That's exactly what it is. Yep. That's exactly what it is. But here's the catch. That's what the girl wanted the nature of her and that old fool's relationship to be, but that's not what he wanted. So let me comment on that. I'm going to text my brother back. Shout out to my brother. I'm going to just send you the link so you can see that I'm live, okay? We'll talk later. And by the way, my brother and my sister's birthday was just this past weekend, so shout out to both of them. I love them. Shout out to both of them. The girl wanted a sugar daddy. What does a sugar daddy do? He's a man that highly shows interest in a young girl. And in this case, I think I don't know if it's actually age of consent in, let me see. In California, what's the age of consent in California? Let's see. Age of consent in California, Salton City.
18 years of age.
There you go. So that would make him a predator in this situation. So she wanted a sugar daddy, somebody to spend money on her, take her on trips, get her hair, nails, and toes did, buy her outfits, maybe buy her a car, keep her looking cute all the time. All the while, all she wants to do is just be candy on his arm. In return, what do y'all think that sugar daddy wanted in return? For all this stuff that he was doing for her, for all of this trouble he's going through to get her out there, why do you think he would go through all of that? To get what in return? He wanted her sexually. Here's what I believe. Here's what I believe. We're going to get more into what I believe here in a second. I believe that she was trying to tease him and literally treat him as a sugar daddy and nothing else. He wanted sex, and she probably came up with every excuse in the book. And I don't know what it is about women that think this is so cute to do this. And I'm speaking to all the women that do this, not to the ones that don't. So don't take no offense. If I ain't talking to you, if the shoe don't fit, don't freaking put it on your foot. Okay? We got to stop being so goddamn sensitive in our society. So let me say what I got to say. Women in general, not all, especially girls like her, especially urban community girls, especially black girls, think it is cute to get money from a man and don't give up nothing. They think that shit is cute. Okay? They think that is what they deserve. They think they are deserving of gifts and being showered for just looking a certain way, for just being cute. Pretty smile, pretty face, pretty body, but you ain't gonna never get to experience what the box is like. All the while, here's the funny thing I don't understand about these women at all with this mentality. I'm hoping that young girls under the age of 18 already ain't having sex at all, and nor do I think that women under the age of 25 need to have kids. So let's put that in a box right there. But for the ones who are having sex, they are generally having sex with a man that ain't giving them shit. Let me say that again. Girls and young women like Tanea Tovar, and I hope her mama and her daddy listen to what I got to say. Make sure y'all share the video with them. Young girls like this, and maybe it's no fault of the parents, it's just the fault of their peers and other women that they watch, because women follow women. Women follow women. Girls follow girls. They see and they believe that women deserve things that they have not earned. Everybody catch that? Is that a fair statement? Yes, I think it is. It's okay to look like a hoe, talk like a hoe, act like a hoe, but you don't actually want to do the work of a hoe. You don't want to swallow sausage, and you don't want to get plugged, and you don't want to have juices running down on you. That's the most PG way I could say it. Right? You don't want to do none of the work of a hoe, but you want to have all the other activities that present yourself as a prostitute, essentially. Right? Am I calling this young girl in her actions, am I calling her a prostitute? Let me think about it for a second. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Shout out to Professor Clump. Yes, I am calling her and her actions the actions of a working girl, a working prostitute. That's essentially what it is, minus the penetration. What's the problem with that? You know what? If this girl was of age, if she was 18 years or older, do what you do. Follow the laws. If you ain't breaking no laws, I'm not going to break your balls about none of this stuff. But if you're breaking the law, that's completely different. First of all, the old man is breaking the law, breaking the law. The old man's breaking the law. The sugar daddy is breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law. She is encouraging him to. She was not kidnapped. She was not disappeared. She was not taken against her will. She went willingly with a man that she was hoping would give her gifts and money and all of these trinkets for literally nothing. Nothing in return. That was her goal. Why am I even stressing that? Because I'm trying to tell y'all, with this white man, old ass pedophilic, hemophilic white man, seeing this young girl up in his dusty ass place and seeing her dressing all cute, short shorts, and probably got her little tiny boobies pressed all up and stuff, doing duck face pictures and stuff like that, right? He sees all of that and he wants that physically. And he became frustrated with her because guess what these young girls also do? When they don't get their way, they start talking shit. They start demeaning the man. They start belittling the man. They start disparaging the man. They start threatening the man. I'm going to tell the police on you. I'm going to tell my mom and my daddy on you. I'm going to get you beat up. Whatever it is, I can almost guarantee you there was some slick talk, slicking in a can of grease. There was some slick talk going on out there, right? Anybody who's familiar with street activity know that I'm not lying. Y'all know that I'm keeping it real, and y'all know I know what I'm talking about, right? I've been out here in these streets with grown adult prostitutes. I've seen it. I know how they think, and I know how they behave. You ever been in a strip club? Kind of the same thing, right? They want to act like they're going to do the most for the most amount of money, and in return, you don't actually get the penetration that you're looking for. You don't get the payoff that you're looking for, right? Because you would have to ask yourself, if this woman was dismembered, she was cut up and they only found her leg so far. That is fucking cruel. Bobby Brown said, don't be cruel. That's about as cruel as it gets. That means that, let me put his picture up on the screen. Y'all, I don't think nobody in the chat is listening. I think y'all are watching. Y'all probably playing, I don't know, probably playing Fortnite or something. I don't think y'all really hearing me right now. I want y'all to look at this man. And y'all tell me that he don't look desperate and disgusting. He looks like he's going to take it. He looks like he's willing to pay for it, and he looks like he's willing to take it. And probably what he did, in my humble opinion, is he probably got tired and said, you know what, I'm going to take it. And the second that she screamed bloody murder, he turned around and ended her life and was probably trying to hide the evidence. How many of y'all agree with that? Do y'all think I'm right, or do you think that Jay Uden went too far? Okay, I see some of y'all in the chat. I see you. So I got some people that agree. Okay. He just has that kind of face. He just looks like he has the type of face of, yep, y'all know he did it. He did it. That's what he looks like. What is the rest of this timeline? I don't think the rest of this really even matters. Go to kesq.com for the timeline. There's a last contact December 1st. There was a search from the 1st to the 20th. Remains were discovered on the 21st. They only discovered a leg. That man had to have been pissed. Horny? You talk about blue balls? That man was blue balls and pissed. December 23rd, neighborhood on edge. February the 6th, DNA match and first search. February 11th through 12th, confirmation goes public. February 13th, the arrest. February 13th, the mother's voicemail. She did an interview, a little bit of an interview. I'll show y'all some of that too. All right. So If I'm saying something that is factually not accurate, I get it. Let me know. But so far, I think I'm speaking facts. But y'all do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. Let's get it. And y'all make sure and share it. It's not enough people watching. Please make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. Please.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
If you're watching right now, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up. We want to have one thumb up for everybody watching. I know y'all hear me say that all the time, but I promise if you just take a moment, close the chat, hit that thumbs up, it'll help us quite a bit. Now, I'm going to let y'all hear. This is from the biological mother. I want y'all to hear what she has to say, and then I'll comment. Here we go.
I have to complete this. If it kills me, I don't care. I have to complete this for Tania. I need to find justice for her. So I don't care about me right now. I don't care how sick I get, if I lose my voice, if I lose my life, if I lose my heart. I cannot sleep. I cannot rest until I get justice for Tania. I've been receiving every single tip, every single clue. I've been checking up on everything, so I can't. I have to also thank people for sharing my daughter's story on TikTok, on Snapchat, on Facebook, on all the platforms. I appreciate it so much, because a lot of them didn't know her, but they took it serious and they prayed for her to come home.
All praises to Charles. She's did a great job, and she's doing a great job. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have known nothing.
Hi, everybody. It's
And I think that, I don't know if that was the guy that was interviewing her or the dad. I'm not sure. But that was the biological mom. And I could say some things. I'm going to try not to be too insensitive. But my thoughts and my feelings is like, where do these girls get this mentality from? This prostitute mentality. Where does it come from? Does it come from their friends? Does it come from social media? Did she maybe see her mom behaving in certain ways? Because I noticed her mom have tattoos on her throat and her chest, probably on her boobs, and probably got tramp stamps on the rear, and she got a tongue ring. And, it's a little, it don't mean that means that you're into that type of activity, illicit activity. If you like tattoos, it is what it is. But something about that just makes me believe that maybe the mom might have rubbed off on her a little bit. I just would think that if a woman, a young girl, values herself, she would not try to whore herself out. If you had a true value about yourself, and I think that starts with having a mother and father in the home. It sounds like the mom was primarily raising her. Dad maybe was raising her on the side, kind of like a lot of us fathers have to do. So you don't get a lot of that same hands-on involvement as the mother would. So the girls tend to be missing what a dad would provide. If you notice, look how she went for the older man. So for fathers who provide, the things that a girl needs and actually gives her the values, she's not going to go looking for it in another man. She's going to find it within herself. So that makes me believe that she was lacking. She was missing something on the inside, or she just had all of the wrong influences. All right, let's keep going.
Garrett Huddle with KESQ News Channel 3. We have heartbreaking new details tonight from the Imperial County Sheriff's Office. In this press release, they say Tania Tovar's remains were discovered back on December 21st in the area of Portsmouth Avenue and New Haven Court in the area of Vista Del Mar. In early January, KESQ News Channel 3 reported on remains that were found in the Salton Sea area back in December. We're still working on getting confirmation that those are the same remains, but I think it's pretty clear that there is a good chance they are. It's been a heartbreaking journey for the family. Obviously, we've been in contact with them every day, and we're still pushing for answers. I'm reminded of the family statement that was shared with us back on Tuesday, that Tania is a child who's loved and she matters, and we're going to find out exactly what happened. Be sure and stick with News Channel 3 for any updates.
Breaking news today at noon in the case of the missing 17-year-old. We're learning FBI agents and Imperial County Sheriff's deputies are now on scene in Thermal near Salton City at the same house they searched last Friday.
Yeah, today's heavy police presence there comes after remains found near the Salton Sea were identified as the missing 17-year-old Tanea Tovar. Take a look. This is a map. The house is believed to be connected to the missing teenager from Hemet. It's located on Harlequin Court. That's just a couple of blocks east of the Salton City Fire Station. News Channel 3's Garrett Hoddle is live in Thermal. There at the scene with more on that continuing investigation. Garrett.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God. Those were some of the words I heard from Tanea Tovar's mother this morning at about 7 o'clock. She called me and she said FBI agents were here on scene making an arrest in connection with the death and disappearance of her daughter, Tanea Tovar, who's been missing since December. Now, I do want to make clear, I have reached out to authorities from both Imperial County and the FBI. I just got a text from a source with the FBI who tells me at this hour, no arrests have been made and the investigation into Tanea's disappearance continues. We first brought you this as breaking news on February 6th last Friday. That's where agents were right here searching this property. We've seen them in the last hour come in and out. We've heard banging sounds. We've seen them bring in tools. Meanwhile, about less than a mile from here on Portsmouth Avenue and New Haven Court, search and rescue volunteers with the Imperial County Sheriff's Office are currently digging in that area. Now, that's important because police said back in December, that's where they found Tanea Tovar's remains. So they're still digging that property at the moment. The community here has been rallying around the family, trying to support them as much as possible. I want you to take a listen to one neighbor we talked to earlier today who said she hopes the community rallies around Charo during this difficult time.
It is horrible losing a child. You're supposed to go before your child. And I'm amazed at the strength and tenacity she had. Going forward, you know, she's got to walk through it. And I'm hoping the community will rally around her and support her and lift her up.
Yeah, and as I said, the FBI is telling me that no arrests have been made. We did see a man taken from the property who's currently in a vehicle talking with authorities. We have not verified their identity or if they're a person of interest in this case, but we are pressing officials for more answers. Stick with News Channel 3 on this developing story. For now, reporting live in Thermal, I'm Garrett Hoddle, News Channel 3.
Okay, a lot of police activity there. Stay with News Channel 3 for the latest.
All right, I need to show y'all something before these next videos come up. Because I'm going to have to make this bigger on the screen. So, I took this from Facebook. I think I was able to find this on my own. Hold on, let me make it bigger. Y'all not going to be able to see that. Let me see. The bottom. Started from the bottom, now we here. Can everybody see that? Make sure turn your resolution up if you can't see it. Like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Shout out to Driftless. I appreciate that. Thank you. Y'all subscribe, please. Can y'all see that? Is it Shaya or Chaya Tovar on December 21st posted a video, which I'm going to show you guys. And it says, and I quote, "Her in the abandoned house." They're confirming that they saw video on social media that she was in that allegedly abandoned house. The creepy house with the creepy man. Okay? So she's not there being forced. She's there on her own volition, essentially. She's there because she wants to be there. The question is why did she end up dead? Because I believe that she was selling the idea of sex without actually wanting to give it up. That's what I believe. And I believe that she pissed that old disgusting white man off. That's what I believe. So let's take a look. I got 2 videos from her social media. Now I'm going to show you 2 more screenshots.
Yes, I love her like
music. My Lord, I'm going to have to mute that. Can't play that no more. But this is her in the house, and you notice there was a person that walked by. Let me play it again, and I'm going to mute the music this time because YouTube is going to flag me because that's just what they do. So I'm going to slow it down. That's her chilling. She got her vape. Who do you think paid for that vape? Who do you think paid for them tattoos? Who do you think paid to get her hair done? She look like she chilling, don't she? She big time chilling on social media. What is she doing on social media? Hold on, I went too far. Let's go back. She's on live and she's on social media because what she's doing is she's posting this for her friends to see what she's doing. She's living a good life, chilling, and got somebody buying her all of this stuff and literally not having to do nothing. That's how she's trying to report it. Stunting. We call that stunting. She's stunting on these hoes. That's what she's doing. And if you notice, I'm going to move it forward. Move it forward. And you see, where is he at? Right there. And you see Mr. Telephone Man, right? See him? Walk right past her. Boom. White man. Could it be anybody? It could be any random white man. Boom. Right there. See him? Just want to point that out. So she knows she's comfortable, she's cool with what's going on at that time. All right. And I got one more video to show you after this one.
Hi, I'm Alondra Campos with NBC Palm Springs, and I'm currently at one of the sites of the investigation that is being carried out by FBI and Imperial County Sheriff's Department in relation to the disappearance of 17-year-old Tania Tovar, a Hemet resident who went missing back on December 1st. Now, behind me is the site of where some of her human remains were found and confirmed earlier this week by officials. Now, you can see some FBI vehicles and sheriff vehicles parked there around the perimeter. Earlier, we did see some officials digging through the ground, possibly looking for some evidence that could lead them to some answers. Now, this investigation is still ongoing and underway, and this site is at the corner of Portsmouth and New Haven Road. It's just a half a mile away from the home that is currently being searched, where Tania Tovar was allegedly last seen before she disappeared. Tune into our 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. newscast to hear from local residents and neighbors about their concerns and the latest details of this investigation. And you can always visit us at NBCPalmSprings.com.
Moving along, the FBI is investigating the disappearance of a teenager from the Imperial County. Tania Tovar, who also goes by Titi Tovar, has been missing since December 1st. She was last seen in Thermal, California. The FBI has released new photographs in hopes that someone may recognize her. Tania is 17 years old, 5'6", and about 105 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. She may have a tattoo on her left hand that reads Charo and a red heart tattoo above her right eye. Anyone with any information is urged to contact the FBI.
So again, and my humble we need to talk about this. Let me pause that right there. I need to make this bigger on the screen so you guys can see it. It's going to take up most of the screen. But let's read this together. This is from Shea Tovar. And it says, "Thank you to all the neighbors in Sultan, Thermal, and surrounding areas. My 17-year-old daughter, Tania, has been missing since December 1st of 2025. Her last known location is in Thermal with a 51-year-old man of interest, Abraham H. Feenbloom. The authorities are currently working on the case, but I've been given so many runarounds in the process. I've worked on this every day, all day, almost not sleeping, just to send them an abundance of evidence, placing and proving my daughter had been there. Today, I am notified that Abraham has a U-Haul truck." Let me see if I can show y'all that. Hold on. So you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Oops. Wrong picture. Let's move this one. So y'all see this, right? You notice all that pink. Everything's painted pink. So that's what they're talking about, the pink house. Abraham has a U-Haul truck at the house trying to move. So I guess she caught him trying to get all his stuff and get up out of there. This is unacceptable. This guy cannot get away without answering questions as to why my 17-year-old daughter was locked up with you in an abandoned house. That's apparently not abandoned with filming equipment and surveillance. So maybe he's squatting. Maybe he's squatting in this house. Who knows if they say it's abandoned. The neighborhood has truly been my eyes and ears. I appreciate you all with my whole heart. God bless you and all. God bless you all, and let's bring Tanea home alive and safe, which we know that is not going to be a reality. It's not going to be reality. Even if she's not in that house, they need to search it inside and out. His vehicles and under the house. I even want forensics and a lie detector test. Everything. Nothing is adding up with his sketchy self. So I think they knew that she was there for a good amount of time, and how they weren't able to get any more progress is just beyond me. I don't know. I'm not asking for her to go and break the law and go break in the house or nothing, but I mean, if my kid is there, like, I don't know. But again, you'd also have to ask, like, why would the girl have went there? She shouldn't have been there. She shouldn't have put herself in that wild position. Somebody, Randall Leslie Tovar Pratt, I guess that's a family member, said, I have to be mindful what I post, but this is urgent. Abraham knows what happened to my daughter. He needs to be taken into custody for even having contact with a minor. I would have to agree with that. He is 51 years old. I am demanding that building and safety check that place out as well as tear it down. If you can't live like a normal person, you don't deserve a home. What has he been doing in this house? I think there's going to be a lot more that comes out, by the way, just so y'all know. We don't think she is in thermal anymore, but possibly left with someone that Abraham knows last Thursday, which I don't think that happened. According to the deputy, from what he was told by a neighbor. The neighbor told him that they heard a female scream, and then Abraham played the drums extremely loud on Thursday. Later on, Abraham was seen escorting Tanea out to a black Honda with a duffel bag. Notes from deputy about the inside of the house. There was a lot of filming equipment inside, so I'm sure they're going to get something out of that. The house is soundproofed. There are locks inside on the wrong sides of the doors to keep someone locked in. There is a surveillance system set up surrounding Abraham's property, and Abraham watches the cameras. Person of interest, Abraham H. Feenbloom, and then they put the address there and said, this is from my sister, Shea Tovar. Now, where is the video of the drums being played? I thought I have that. Can y'all give me a second? Let me see if I can find that. Is it on my downloads? No? Give me a second. Let me see if I can find that, because I think y'all might find that interesting. Let me see if I can find it, or I might have to just repost it on the replay. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find that real quick. And if we are able to get 200 thumbs up, only 200, I'm going to give away some channel memberships today. We're already almost halfway through the month. So if you guys will help me with that, please hit that thumbs up. Matter of fact, moderators, can y'all tell me how many thumbs up we have right now? If y'all will help me with that, that'd be great. And yes, we're still on story number 1. I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit. But I really, really want to try to find that. Give me a second here. Tovar. There she go. That's the mom. We've already seen the mom. Shea. There's mine. Wait. Is this it? Yep, this is it. Hold on. Yes, this is it. I found it. For some reason, I did not have it downloaded. I don't know why. That's weird. Give me a second. I'm going to show y'all. Hold on. Y'all have got to see this. Okay. All right. I found the video. Let me see if I can. I don't know if there's a way for me to make this any bigger without messing it up. Boom. Boom. And. All right. That's about as big as I can make that. Here we go. And y'all notice that it's offbeat. It doesn't follow a pattern. It's weird drumming. Like it seems like this is coming straight out of a movie or something. Like on the movie Get Out or something. Like this is crazy. So I don't know what that even means. Why? Like, and it definitely doesn't make sense why a person would be playing the drums like that and offbeat, not playing a song or anything like that. We're gonna have more to this story coming out, and I hope that they'll release more information soon, and we'll just kind of go from there. But again, I know the parents and family members and anybody else concerned with this story that have a heart for her probably might not like me exposing what she actually did. But I believe that the only way that we can get better in this society is you got to start calling stuff out for what it is. If these girls are doing the wrong things, you have to tell them that they're doing the wrong things and explain why. Because this could happen to one of y'all kids that just get a big head about themselves and think that they know better than the parents. You've got to show them this stuff and keep it real. I think that's the only thing that has kept my daughter and my kids from getting into stuff that they shouldn't be into. And I pray that it stays that way. As they get grown, they're going to start making even more of their own decisions. But I would hope that I've put my loving arms of protection and information in her mom too, that she won't do stupid stuff like this. Tanea had no idea that she had the wrong mindset and that this was going to end up costing her her life for wanting to have fun and wanting to get paid and wanting to feel like somebody needs to shower her with gifts. Do you guys know the person that's supposed to shower her with gifts? A husband. That term that we don't value, we barely even remember what that even looks like to have a nuclear household, right? Do we have any married people in the chat? A husband, a fiance, maybe a boyfriend pushing towards marriage. Too many times we value the carriage without the horse. Yes? We value the carriage without the horse. We want the gifts without the work. We want the riches without actually doing nothing for it. That's most of our girls. Because most men, I don't know whether it's that we feel sorry for them, whether we just want to be nice. Maybe we think it'll make them like us more. And we just tend to acquiesce. You know what? When they hit me up, hey, can you send me a cash app? And you just send it because you think they need it. I don't really know. So it's like they want to make their own money and then take all of yours. That's the mentality that these girls have from teenagers all the way up and through their adult life. And then next thing you know, you look up, they 40 and 50 years old and can't figure out why the fuck they're unmarried. Because you never valued a man. You never valued what he brings to the table. And you never valued how you get to that journey. How you get yourself to the point of making a man want to shower you with gifts, if that's what you truly, truly want. Because you're going to have to do the work to get it. You're going to have to be a person that is worth that and somebody that wants to settle down with you and create a lifestyle that actually makes sense. But that ain't what they want. They want a shortcut and they don't want to do all the work. It's causing us to lose our babies. And guess what? I actually got more stories that are very similar to this, okay? So y'all stay tuned. And continue to pray for you girls. Continue to pray for these kids, man. And hopefully that no more of this stuff happens. But we'll bring you an update. So, Tanea, we're not done with this. We're going to see this through to justice. Because this man is the scum of the goddamn earth, okay? Thank you. And I hope that I hope they expose every nasty thing he's recorded that he's done. Oh, it's about to get a lot worse when they expose that dude. I'm telling y'all now. Like he just seems like a child predator, underage child predator. Speaking of underage child predators, how about we talk about this? A story we ain't talked about in a long time. When's the last time have we heard about this story? Do y'all remember this? Jarvis Butts? Y'all remember this story about Naziah Harris? This story has been huge on social media and been pretty big on my channel. What's up, Mel Hugh? For you, I see you in the building. What up? See you, Deborah Dorr. What up? Spicy Kai. What up? Genevieve. What up? Everybody, make sure y'all please hit that thumbs up when y'all get here. What's up, Treyway Life in the building? Christian Foster. Driftless. What up? Simone Lewis. What up? Deanne Hancock. James Rotibi. Anybody else? If I missed you, type in that chat. What's up, Don Mommy? What up? So y'all do remember this. We have an update. And I still, even though this is technically going to be the final update, in my heart, I still feel like I don't want this to be the end. I don't want this to be the end of the story because I think that the people who also abused Naziah deserve to be investigated, criminalized, and sent to prison for the role that they played in the abuse of this girl. Sakayla, what up? Brenda Henderson, what up? Ash and Emmy, yes, we're on story number 2 out of 7, yes. The messed up thing, Jay, is that there are many men out there just like him. Oh, boy. Are there? There are. KC, what up? That's my Fortnite buddy right there. What up, dog? That's my dog right there, man. What up, KC? If y'all don't watch us come play Fortnite, man, come check us out and watch us play Fortnite. Sometimes I'll be over there playing Fortnite with LA. If we're on the same time frame, but sometimes he plays a little later than what I'm actually up. Let me see. Okay, bet. Cool. All right, let's get to story number 2. Let's talk about this. Oh, we have a few more people that donated. Let me say thank you to Don. Don, if you're listening, thank you for your Cash App. Thank you to Laquita. Laquita, if you're listening, thank you. And thank you to Deborah Dorr. Thank you. Said love you. Love you right back. Thank you, Deborah Dorr. We have not talked about Naziah in a while. Yeah, we need to get into this. Come on. Oh, I got 2 articles. Let me ask y'all this. Oh, I'm doing good, bro. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Let me ask y'all this. With this story, do y'all want me to read y'all the text messages? Because they're kind of explicit. And let me say what's up to Vita Coco Coconut Water. Shout out to Vita Coco. Hopefully they'll give me a sponsorship one of these days and we can show them some love on the AFC podcast. I drink this stuff. It is awesome, right? Vita Coco. I'm not a sponsor, but it would be nice if I was. I ain't got no jingles for them, but shit, I like me some Vita Coco. Anyway, let's get into this. So y'all do want to hear the text messages? All right. Now, I've talked about some stories where I believe that young women have put themselves, these young girls, I should say, have put themselves in some certain positions trying to basically reap the benefits of an older man. I don't think this is what this is, okay? I think a lot of what has already been exposed in court and in text messages prove that this girl was groomed by multiple people, especially by the man by the name of Jarvis Butts, which is the guy over there on the right-hand side. Before we get into the details, I want to warn you, this ain't for kids. This ain't for little babies. This is intended for mature audiences. This is true crime. This is what we do. Mommy of 3, let's get it.
Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, new website articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer.
So I'm getting this story from cbsnews.com, and also my second source is clickondetroit.com. So I'm going to give you guys 2 different versions of that, okay? So we haven't talked about this in a while. Wow. Let me say thank you real quick. Big shout out to Mel Hugh for you in the chat, showing some love. Per hand emoji in the chat with the heart emoji if you're listening, Mel. Thank you very much. You know, I always appreciate you big time for always finding it in your heart and in your budget to contribute. Just know that it is greatly appreciated anytime you send something. So it is hugely appreciated. So shout out to Mel. Appreciate you. So this girl has literally been the talk of YouTube for a while, and for good reason, because this story was so convoluted. So Jarvis Butts, who was the man who we believe killed Naziah Harris and sexually assaulted her and got her pregnant. That's an enhanced picture. I actually fixed that picture so you can see that's a nice, clear picture of that baby, okay? Because she is a baby to me. He pled guilty Thursday to murdering the teenager Naziah Harris. He pleaded guilty on February the 12th, which was 4 days ago, depending on when you're watching this, 2026. He pled guilty to numerous charges, including second-degree murder. His trial was scheduled to begin later this month. Let me see. Her body has not been recovered as of yet, but Butts admitted in court Thursday to dumping her body in the Rogue River. So there's a chance that maybe they'll be able to recover, maybe they won't, but that is just crazy. What's up, Tina? How you doing? So here's a little bit of the background of the story. Prosecutors said that Jarvis was supposed to turn himself in to authorities on a gun charge on January the 9th of 2024, the day Naziah went missing, but the date was pushed back to February. Harris allegedly met up with Jarvis that day, and then the two reportedly went up to Ypsilanti. I cannot pronounce that word. It's in Michigan. It's a city. Ypsilanti. Yep, Slanty, I can't pronounce it. I'm not going to even try. Before returning back to Detroit, where Jarvis checked into a motel. Text message records allege that Jarvis knew that Naziah was pregnant and probably pregnant by him. I think that actually might have been confirmed. I'm not sure. I think that was confirmed. Okay? That she was pregnant and that he began searching online about abortions, abortion pills, and drinking red antifreeze. Authorities believe that Jarvis had been sexually abusing Naziah since 2022 before killing her in January of 2024. Prosecutors said he had a long history of targeting and befriending women to get close to and sexually abuse their daughters. And in this case, I think that this girl was being caretaken for by her aunties, if I'm not mistaken. And let me get them up on the screen for you. Let me see. Because we're going to talk about this again. I think they are twins, and they look like fat twin turtles. If you wrap them in some colorful foil, these are some badass looking SOBs, and I'm just like, what the hell? Okay? Now, we're not going to go all back into this all over again because I have the video of this. I still have that video, right? But I believe that at some point, this girl was in the care of these people, and these people knew that this girl was being taken advantage of by grown men, and I think even including somebody that they refer to as an uncle. This guy, oh, we got a lot of exposing to do here, re-exposing. This is alleged, because I don't think he's been charged for this, but this is why I believe that this investigation should never end. I believe that that guy is this guy, and I think they was claiming for him to be an alleged uncle. And I believe, in my opinion, allegedly, especially based on that picture and based on some videos that were posted, that he was also sexually abusing Naziah. And that was set up, or at least allowed to happen, or things that they were ignored by these individuals that you guys see on my screen who look like collectively, they probably smell extremely bad. Okay? They probably smell like dirty panties and soiled dreams. Reason I bring that up is because of this. Again, I want you guys to remember that Jarvie, who looks like a larvae, I believe that he was fancying that woman right there in that purple dress who literally looks like a melted purple piece of ice cream. Purple hair and a purple dress. She just looks bad, man. Bad to the bone. When you look bad, you just, I don't know, man. I guess they think they think it makes them look less bad to put some tight clothing on. So you'd be like, oh yeah, okay. Now I can confirm that she has a big fat stomach. And she has extra stomachs on the side of her. And yeah, and you know, and it looks like she took a purple Laffy Taffy and melted it on top of her head. Yeah, you know, and she looks like she literally looks like, have y'all ever seen a snapping turtle? That's what she looks like. Y'all ever seen like a wild alligator turtle? You know, I like watching those nature videos. She looks like a freaking turtle, but instead of the shell being on the back, the shell is in the front. Okay, look, let me stop. Okay, I'm sorry. I want y'all to remember that I believe that these people abused, or at least saw something and didn't say something about the abuse of Naziah. That's why I'm saying all of this, okay? So don't go feeling bad. Jay is fat shaming. Well, no, I'm not fat shaming. I'm just shaming people who I believe abused a girl, and they just so happen to be fat shaming worthy. Disgusting individuals. Go back and watch my other videos, okay? Anyway, he got with women who probably felt like crap about themselves, and him being light-skinned with long hair and probably dressed sometimes pretty decent, it was easy for him to get a woman that looked like this. Where is it at? Come on. Stop playing with me. That looked like this. I believe that he engaged with this woman in some fashion in order to get to Naziah, which was his actual goal. He got to Naziah through that woman. That's what I believe. Okay? It's not only sexual abuse, the only sexual abuse case that Jarvis is involved in. Okay? So they believe this is what he does. Y'all hit that thumbs up. I see y'all watching, but y'all not clicking the thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up, please. What's up, church lady? Tell them to hit that thumbs up, please. They not hitting it. They not hitting it. Jarvis was also charged for reportedly sexually abusing 2 other young girls. Y'all catch that? 2 other young girls. And has a conviction for sexual assault in 2005. Prosecutors called Jarvis a serial child rapist. Their words, not mine. Who sexually assaulted an 8-year-old family member. That would make him a pedophile. Sexually assaulted an 8-year-old family member and a girlfriend's 4-year-old daughter. Oh, that should make him death penalty eligible. You know, if he lived in, what country is that? In China? If he lived in China, did y'all know that China actually made it punishable by death? China has reaffirmed a zero-tolerance policy against child sexual abuse as early as 2006 and has signaled an increasingly hard line with its courts and the Supreme People's Court imposing the death penalty in the most vile, extreme, aggravated cases. So why are we not on this in America? Can y'all hit the thumbs up for that? I think China's got us beat when it comes to that. I think that's the way to fix people like this. Do y'all remember how I said that this mentality can't be fixed? It cannot be rehabilitated. It just has to be punished. These people cannot be fixed. They do 20 years in prison and they get out. They're still going to want to attack little children, defenseless girls, girls who cannot defend themselves. Okay? Why not just put him under that type of law? There's no reason for this man to be breathing anymore. Anyway, oh, Lord. Oh, man, I missed this part. The girlfriend's 4-year-old daughter reportedly caught chlamydia from that SA assault. A 4-year-old baby. That guy. We'll come back to that. Prosecutors call him a serial child rapistist. He was charged on September 27th of 2024 as a habitual 4th-time offender. 4-time. Jarvis and Naziah had reportedly known each other because he was the father of her cousins. The abuse of Naziah allegedly began in 2022 with sexually explicit text messages and photos being sent to the child. He was tracked to the Rouge River in Detroit the day of her disappearance, where police would later recover the clothes Harris was last seen wearing. Authorities say that there was damage to the clothing that would indicate a struggle. Sergeant Shannon Jones, the officer in charge of the investigation of Naziah's disappearance, had a copy of all the text messages exchanged between Butts and Harris dating back to 2022. She read messages prosecutors highlighted for her to read aloud in the preliminary hearing in January of 2025. Y'all said y'all want to hear this, so I'm about to read it. Y'all better get ready. The text messages revealed that pedophile hebephile Butts, was allegedly sending sexually explicit text messages and asked her for nude photos. The messages suggested there were more conversations like these previously. The text messages later in 2023 revealed that Neziah claimed that she was pregnant and talked about having trouble in school due to her quote-unquote baby. The following text messages were translated and spelled the way Jones specified or said when testifying in court on Thursday. Damn, it's a lot of them. I'm not going to read all of that. It's a lot of them. It's a lot. The Detroit man, I'm going to go back to CBSNews.com. The Detroit man accused of murdering and sexually assaulting 13-year-old Neziah Harris, who went missing in January of 2024, pleaded guilty in the case Thursday morning. Jarvis agreed to a sentence between 35 years and 60 years in prison for the second-degree murder charge. The news spoke to one of Neziah's family members about why this plea deal might lead to answers about the biggest question in the case. Neziah's cousin, by the name of Roxy, says closure will only come once she knows what truly happened to her body. Investigators found the clothes and shoes Neziah was last seen wearing during a Rouge River search near 7 Mile Road in Berg shortly after she went missing in January 9th of 2024. One of Jarvis's conditions for pleading guilty to the murder of Neziah is to provide truthful statement regarding the body of Neziah Harris, court records show. He said, I quote, I'm happy that, They said, I'm happy that he is finally willing to tell where she is. I'm also happy that the rest of the victims that he has traumatized are also getting justice. We want her to be found, not just me, but as a community. We all want her to be found. Today, we are closer to that. But Jarvis also pleaded guilty to 5 other cases. 5 other cases involving sexual assault of 4 different minors, with one victim being as young as 4 years old, which is the one who caught an STD from him, allegedly. He also agreed to 10 to 15 years for each of those charges that he'll serve at the same time, so that's concurrent, as the sentence in the Neziah case. Jarvis's sentencing is scheduled for March the 12th, so of course we will hopefully catch that and we'll post it. This story is making my chest hurt, man. Just makes me just hate people. People like this.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
Y'all do me a favor and please hit that thumbs up if you're here watching. Notice we brought a few more people in. We want to have one thumb up for everybody watching. Just a couple of news videos. Let's get it.
CBS News Detroit's Jack Springate is following those developments for us. Jack?
Well, Jarvis Butts' guilty plea in the murder of Neziah Harris comes with a condition that will likely answer one of the biggest questions in this case, an honest admission about what happened to her body that was never found. Jarvis Butts agreed to a sentence between 35 and 60 years in prison for the second-degree murder charge in the Neziah Harris case, but one of her biggest advocates says closure will only come once she knows what truly happened to her body.
I don't think the full relief will get there until we actually have her.
Investigators found the clothes and shoes Neziah was last seen wearing during a River Rouge search near 7 Mile in Berg shortly after she went missing back in January of 2024. However, they have still yet to find her body.
I'm happy that he is finally willing to able to tell where she is. I'm also very happy that the rest of the victims that he has victimized are also getting justice.
Butts pled guilty to sex crimes against 4 other minors, all younger than 13 when they happened, one as young as 4 and one his own daughter. He agreed to serve 10 to 15 years for each of those charges, all at the same time he serves the sentence for what he did to Neziah.
We all want her to be found, not only myself, but as a community. We just wanted her to be found, and today we're closer to that.
And Butts' sentencing is scheduled a month away, March 12th at noon, right back here at the 3rd Circuit Courthouse, where we'll be waiting for an answer to what exactly.
First at 11, a legal battle many feared would never end is closing with a guilty plea in the murder of 13-year-old Neziah Harris. From the day she went missing to this moment of accountability, we have stayed with this story to see a form of justice through. Good evening. I'm Mike Duffy. Jarvis Butts admitted to killing the young girl while also pleading guilty to the sexual assault of 5 other victims. For Neziah's family, it's the end of an agonizing nightmare that began when she vanished in Detroit 2 years ago. But they're still searching for a deeper sense of peace. 7 News Detroit reporter Darren Cunningham has been covering this story from the beginning. Tonight, he spoke with Neziah's relatives about this sudden turn in the case.
Even with a confession in hand from Jarvis Butts, Neziah Harris's family tells me they are not done fighting. They are now calling for a deeper investigation into those who they believe paved the way for this tragedy.
Knowing something, feeling something, and then having something confirmed, it's a different type of pain.
At a minimum, Jarvis Butts must serve 35 years in prison after pleading guilty to the murder of 13-year-old Neziah Harris. Investigators believe he killed her to cover his tracks after impregnating her. As part of a plea deal, Butts also pleaded guilty to 5 other cases of rape and molestation.
He will serve that 60 years if we have anything to do with it. He would die in prison.
Neziah's aunt says she wanted to see a life sentence, but believes getting him off the streets is a win for his other young victims currently grappling with trauma. However, the family's focus is now shifting toward accountability for those who failed to protect the 13-year-old.
Jarvis was not the only person at fault. She would have never been able to be in his hands if she had never been neglected or endangered. The signs were there, the warnings were there, the complaints were there. CPS has the complaints, Detroit Police Department has the complaints.
CPS has acknowledged that prior complaints were submitted. Detroit police also admitted to 7 News Detroit that the department failed to investigate a 2022 claim that Butts had touched Neziah inappropriately.
The people who were responsible for Neziah lied. They need to be held responsible just as much as Jarvis is for being held responsible. We have other children who may possibly go back into the hands of these people.
While Butts has confessed, Neziah's body has still not been recovered. We spoke with legal expert Todd Perkins about the details of the plea deal.
My understanding is that in order to be able to take advantage of this plea, that information had to already have been provided.
Perkins offered a word of encouragement to the family as they continue to push for systemic changes.
The squeaky wheel gets the oil. Don't stop. I think about those mothers who have lost kids and have, no one's done anything about it, but they just don't, and they don't stop, and they don't stop. And something breaks.
Thank you so much. We don't plan on stopping. We're going to keep on moving forward.
Well, good evening, group. Butts actually entered that plea at 3rd Circuit Court. But, the question still remains, where is Neziah's body?
This is the culmination of perhaps a proper decision on his part.
Jarvis Butts, the man charged in connection to the death and sexual assault of 13-year-old Neziah Harris, pleaded guilty to murder and a number of sexual assault counts during a pretrial hearing. Here's legal expert attorney Todd Perkins, who is not affiliated with this case.
Wayne County Prosecutor's Office is the Office of Community Prosecution. They wrap their arms around families before they would make an offer in this type of case, and I'm sure they did that in this case.
It's alleged Butts developed a relationship with the teen. Last year, Butts was bound over for trial in connection to Neziah's disappearance. She was last seen getting off a school bus on January 9th, 2024 in Detroit.
It brings closure to the family, and I believe the family got something out of this in the sense that they had this great traumatic loss, but they have someone who makes a statement and also gives information to the prosecutor's office and law enforcement to bring that closure about.
Yeah. Back out here live, you know, Attorney Perkins, he actually spoke to us earlier today at Fox 2 Detroit Live. Now, back to Butts. He is set to be sentenced next month, and it's expected that he will spend decades in prison. Roop, back to you.
Yeah, Ingrid, you know, you talk a little bit about if this was to move forward with all of the court proceedings, how painful this testimony has been already for family members and how gruesome some of the details are and have been. It is at least a little solace that they don't have to be drugged through something like that.
It really is, but you know what, I will say, you know, this became like a case for all of society. I mean, everyone felt this family's pain, and I think many people are still asking, where is this child's body? Now, I did reach out to the prosecutor's office to find out, as a part of this, you know, plea, if, you know, Butts will have to say where the body is. So we're still waiting on a response, but I think that is the question everyone really wants to know. That will bring some justice, because at least that way they can actually lay this child to rest properly. Back to you.
Yeah, they certainly do need that closure. Ingrid Kelly for us live tonight.
Absolutely.
Thank
you. They've been giving her to try to get rid of it, trying to get rid of the baby.
Okay, now I need to warn you what this audio is. This is, from what I understand, Jarvis's brother telling the full story about what happened to Naziah. So you might not be able to hear it clearly. Just try to listen and just see what you guys can hear, okay? Because it's a bad recording, but I just want this. I've shown this before. I just want y'all to hear this. Here we go.
He gave that to her, you know what I'm saying, and tried to do whatever he could do. She was feeling sick or whatever. All right, so he gets in the car, drops her off to go back home. All right, when she gets out to go home, she go in the house. Shannon didn't get into it with her. They didn't call and see if she was at Jarvis' house, because Shannon already knew she was at Jarvis' house, because she called to get directions earlier that day while she was at school. So once she get back, they get to fussing at her for going up to Jarvis' shop and calling fast and this and that. Then it all came out, you know, confirming that she was pregnant, was Jarvis' baby, and Shannon lost it. Shannon lost it real bad and jumped on Naziah, beating her, hitting her in the head with some object right there in their house that they overlooking, and killed Naziah, because she was already probably having complications. Remember, from whatever they've been giving her to try to get rid of the baby. Remember, she was sick earlier that day and on the floor. Instead of them calling the nurse, they called the counselor. The school failed her. So once Shannon beats on it, she passes out, she dies right there. So they panic. So they get her, the twin sister.
Now I want y'all to notice how he's implicating the women. He's implicating the women. He's saying that he believes that one of the women hit the girl and the girl died from that. I'm gonna let it play. I'm not gonna stop it again.
So once Shannon beats on it, she passes out, she dies right there. So they panic. So they get her, the twin sister, help Shannon get her into the mama car, and they go and meet Jarvis. Meet Jarvis out there by where the other girlfriend lives. And Jarvis was going to all these different houses at his different girlfriend house, establishing his alibi, because he knew what had happened between her and Shannon. That he had nothing to do with it, but knew that he was also the last person seen with her and probably would be questioned too about her being unalive. So once Shannon and the sister go out there to meet them out there, they get rid of the body, right? So once they get rid of the body, he tell them, you know, bring some extra clothes or whatever. So they get rid of the body and they throw those extra clothes out, which is working. And I don't understand how that's working, you know, because we know what she had on the day at school. We know what she left, got off the bus with, the clothes she had on. But they threw out some different clothes with limited amount of blood and stuff on it. Why? Because they only took the jacket off of her. and probably some other shoes and stuff that was already in the house. But she's still buried in what we saw her in, which is that colorful jacket, them jeans, and some other shoes, wherever she is. And I don't think she buried nowhere where she can't be found, because they somewhere else and make people go search in the opposite direction. So she is deceased, but she was killed by Shannon in a rage because of her jealousy or whatever she had going on with Jarvis. And at the end of the day, the mom and the sister knows what Shannon did, and they're not protecting Jarvis, they're protecting Shannon. And Shannon hoping that Jarvis don't snitch on him, but he's not going to tell until after they try and convict him of the murder, and he see the difference between the time. Remember, his lawyer said they're not going to contest and fight the fact that he had inappropriate relations with her. Okay, go ahead and bound it over. But what we are fighting is the murder. Why? Because there's no body. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Now, you do know that Shannon and all of them have already made deals with the DA. Why? Because without Shannon, the mom, King, the fiance, without all those people, they would not have a case for murder against this young lady. So they pieced up parts of their statements and testimonies to present what it was they wanted to present to the court, that he was last seen with it and he's the one that killed him. But believe me, there's other text messages, all kind of messages in their phones that they took. But if they convict them and show that they are also guilty, then who would be on the stand and testify or could testify against Jarvis? Because they all could get up there and just plead the fifth, because they all are being charged. So therefore, they're letting them off and letting them go. They made a deal. They agreed to testify against Jarvis and say what it is that they want them to say. In turn, keeps them from being prosecuted and charged with anything. But trust me, they know exactly what happened. They know exactly what happened to her. But they want to get Jarvis and get Jarvis off the street, because they feel like he's the problem. He's the ringleader. But they...
So, somebody in the chat said, shout out to Don. Don said his name is it Ian? Ian, E-A-I-N, Ian Devin Butts. That's Jarvis's brother, Facebook with the interview. So thank you for that, because I don't remember. It's been a while since I've gotten that footage. So, yes, I do agree that I think that everybody that was around her played a role in her demise, including those fake ass aunts, including that alleged uncle, and especially Jarvis, because at the end of the day, you know, he played a major role in not only abusing other kids, I think they said 4 other ones, but this baby too. So with him being the head of this snake, and the messed up part about it is everybody else that probably played a role is going to get away. So basically they all teamed up on him to throw him under the bus, and then they don't have to answer to any of this. And I think that's wrong. I know that they're trying to get a conviction, but at the same time, I think that everybody that played a role in this, regardless of them, I think that's part of how you get a conviction. You have to make deals. I know that's a terrible thing and it's horrible, but at the end of the day, that's how they're able to hold somebody accountable for what he did. At the end of the day, if they were able to give him the ultimate penalty under law, I think that would be better. Because I think people like that, Purple Barney over there and her twin, and all of them people, I think are just as guilty. So Naziah, to me, did not stand a chance because everybody around her failed her. Okay? So let me get this princess back up on my screen. And again, I want you guys to remember that the first person to fail this baby is her biological mother and her biological father, because that's who should have been raising her, not aunties, and she shouldn't have had other caretakers. It should have been mom and dad under one household, married, and taking care of this baby. So Princess, R.I.P. So hopefully we'll get more justice in this story. I hope this is not the end of this saga, but we'll see. That probably is going to be the end of it, okay? But thank you guys so much for listening to Naziah's story. I will add it in my playlist, so you'll be able to find each story that I've talked about just on her a lot easier. I promise you will appreciate going back and watching each of those stories as this thing developed on my channel, okay? Thank you.